and MJ, back again for more live reactions to Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Throw 'em away. There we go. And we're back again.
And we're
Hello,
back.
everyone.
Back again.
Oop, I forgot to pop out the chat on my end here.
Oopsie doozle.
There it goes. All right, how is everyone this evening? Hopefully well.
Pop out the chat on this one, but there it is. It's behind. Ta-da! Hello,
Yep.
chat.
Oh, I thought it was already popped out on that one.
It was already popped out, but it was behind the window you popped it out of for some reason.
Weird. All right.
Things happen.
So yeah, the world continues to be crazy.
Heyo!
So-
Field transmission!
We have a field transmission.
We did hear about Kirame Red. I think we covered that last week, didn't we?
No,
No?
I don't think so. I think that just.
Okay.
I think that news came out early this week that
At some point, we definitely talked about it, but we must have just talked about it to each other.
Yes, the actor for Kirame Red, the Red Ranger of Kira Major, the current Sentai series, he has been diagnosed with coronavirus, so they have put production on hold for now.
For both that and Kamen Ranger, right?
Kamen Rider?
Kamen Rider.
I hadn't.
I believe they shut down the studio, which was
Okay.
doing them both.
Okay. I didn't recall if Kamen Rider was affected as
all
well
the details are in a great video by Ranger Liz.
Ranger Liz of Ranger Week in Review tends to cover those news pretty well.
She's got that covered.
And people are saying that apparently they're not taking auditions for the next season of Power Rangers at the moment either, which makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, who would want to be trying to go to a cattle call right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Bad idea.
It's crazy times. Yeah, Ranger Liz is cool. She's good peoples.
I enjoy her.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what color her hair comes out this time.
She's done a good job really building an audience over there. She does a lot of work. I wish that I could put in as much time into our channel as I would like.
Yeah, but you're busy educating the youth of tomorrow. Well, the youth of today,
working on it.
The people of tomorrow.
Yes.
You're still doing it.
Did you just imply that youth aren't people?
The adults of tomorrow. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Look, first I called them the youth of tomorrow, like they weren't born yet. I had a long day at the hospital, okay?
Okay. But yeah, it's been busy times. I'm still
We're
remote
about to start
teaching.
taking transfers from New York City.
Oh, that's fun. I've been our website service for the school has been up and down all week, which has been
up and down. You're not the only one who's been having that problem.
Oh, it's been
it's a
very
national
chaotic.
wide thing, and
Yeah.
I know some other teachers from other schools
Yep.
who have the same complaint.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is the internet's being heavily taxed right now. The internet's getting hit hard.
By taxed, you mean taxed on the system, not monetarily taxed.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Yes. But yes, there's just been a lot of stuff just overloading the internet because there's been so much stuff.
SodaStream Dr. Pepper. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Dustin's got some SodaStream Dr. Pepper,
Oh, that's
but it's
nice.
actually called Dr. something else.
What is it?
Dr. Pete.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Jake likes Dr. Pepper. I don't like
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that's usually
Jake
my
likes to
caffeine of
adulterate
choice.
Dr. Pepper with other substances.
You make it sound so illicit. It's like I mix it with juice.
He puts V8 in Dr. Pepper.
Specifically V-Fusion, which is fruit juice. Not to be confused with, like, standard V8, which is, like, salty tomato juice, which is completely different.
Oh, it looks like Joseph Cat's school might be using Schoology. So
Yeah,
he's getting it from the student end of
It's
everything
tough.
being down.
It is tough. And my grades are due next week.
Womp womp.
However that works right now. So I've been pretty busy, and I've been volunteering to try and
It's a good
keep
question,
my sanity.
Dustin. It's a good question, Dustin.
What's
I'll
up?
get to it when he's done with his thing.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, just to sort of keep my sanity during this whole lockdown situation, I have been volunteering for the Bernie Sanders campaign. I think I mentioned that last week.
Yep, and you're still doing it.
Yep. So I've been continuing that. It's a nice way to, like, continue to interact with people and feel like you are helping with the situation
So you
in some
phone
way, shape,
bank
or
to
form.
combat the loneliness of social distancing?
I recommend it. You know, you get to meet. I'm meeting more people now than I would meet normally.
This is true. This is true. I'm still going to work.
Yeah. Plus,
I'm essential.
plus, it's just good to get involved in toward solving issues.
Ugh, Microsoft Teams. We were using that in my office up until Friday when everything crashed, and now we're using Jabber.
So if you are combating isolation or feelings of helplessness right now, I would
Phone
recommend
banking
it.
is good.
Yeah, it's a good way to
And it doesn't necessarily have to
kinda
be for a
combat both of
political
those.
campaign, because there's also people
Oh,
who are
there's
phone
plenty of
banking for important initiatives like
right.
like things that they're trying to push through to help people with COVID-19.
Yes.
Like, so you could call your senators, or you could call people in your area to have them also call the senators about, like, hey, let's get this
There's a lot of
unemployment stuff
good stuff.
fixed out, because people aren't
Yep.
working.
A lot of charitable causes right now. So yeah, if you're looking for a way to get involved, there's a lot of options out there. And if you are in a state that is voting soon, please again vote for the guy trying to give people health care.
If you're old enough to vote.
I feel like that's. I'm just gonna keep saying that.
Because, I mean, we do have an audience of 13 and up.
Yes.
YouTube. I'm looking at you, YouTube. 13
Yes.
and up. Some of them are not old enough to vote.
True. But for those of you who are, I've relayed my recommendation. So, Dustin was asking about
Devin's fear of dogs thing. When is that going to be plot relevant?
I genuinely do not know, because there, to my recollection, is no dog-based monster in Go Busters, but they might play around with it just like they played around with the chicken thing in the source material. All right. Interesting thing we're going to try testing out today is actually, for apparently the DVR of Philo actually recorded the show this time, as opposed to me just having to reference it through the TV guide. So we are accessing it on the Roku this time, and we're going to see if that operates any smoother.
I don't think it's healthy food. I think it's specifically carrots, Cody.
Yes. But so we'll see if this runs smoother than casting from a desktop in the other room.
And trying to pause and unpause it with a wireless keyboard.
Our Roku is not the most top of the line, but we're going to take a shot at it.
It was when I got it.
But it is no longer.
It's a very old
So
Roku.
it's going to have a little bit delayed reactions to a lot of things. Pausing to get this started was
also,
not
is that the
easy.
original remote or the replacement?
They're identical, I don't know.
And no, it's the replacement.
Oh, okay, so this is the better one? Hopefully.
No, the original one is probably better because it came with it, whereas that one I just got off of eBay.
Okay.
Doesn't matter right now.
Okay. Good to know. I was
'Cause
wondering why we had two remotes.
Because we lost one, and then we didn't find it again until we'd moved twice.
Is that what happened?
We lost it when we were living in the apartment we started living together in.
Yeah, okay.
And then did not find it until we moved to this apartment.
Alright. So, let's give this thing a shot. Alright? Time for episode 28 of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, The Blame Game.
Olivia wonders, based on the theme of this episode, which I guess probably has
And
to do with
commercials.
blame.
And we're here.
What
They're playing football.
disturbing human concept Steel will learn next? So
I don't know.
I guess maybe Steel's gonna learn about blame today.
I guess so. So the resolution's still a little on the fuzzy side. For some reason it has captions on, which I don't know how that setting works.
You can't just toss your trash on the ground. I want you to pick up 3 extra pieces of trash. Right now.
That
Go on.
that girl. Huh. Okay.
You know what?
That's not bad parenting. That's
actually
pretty
good parenting
That's
right
pretty good
there.
parenting.
Father punishing the poor kid. Not at all. He's just teaching her a lesson so next time she won't litter.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. It's called discipline.
Okay.
Oh no, that's the disturbing human concept he's gonna learn.
Okay. So,
People use punishment to teach each other lessons.
oh, this is
You
going
cannot
to go
punish
poorly.
your friends
This is going to go very poorly.
or your brother.
I don't know how this is going to go poorly, but it's going to go very
It's
poorly.
gonna go very poorly.
All right, what's Grazel up to? But it's a really
His hand puppet? Maybe he's gonna turn his hand puppet into a monster.
yes, yes. This is the This is the monster I thought it would be. This is very silly. That Controlatron. Okay, but they actually got a little puppet that looked like him.
I'm sorry, is that Kelson?
I don't think so. But it is an expressive voice, which is nice.
Because it kind of sounds very familiar to a monster voice he's done before.
A little bit like a. I mean, it does sound a little bit like a Bugglesworth with a lower register.
That's what I was thinking. Bugglesworth.
What are you doing? No.
Please don't Morphex boost the leaf blower. No, that was not made to work on Morphex.
What? What are you
That was
doing?
meant to run on gasoline.
What is it going to do?
Suck up Betty, probably.
Okay. What? Oh, now it's just sucking all the leaves off the trees?
I think Olivia's new catchphrase is "Wait for it."
What? It's the
The
whole...
whole tree.
Oh, no. That thing's gonna... What? How? No. Don't... What? Why? Those guards are just... don't know what to do. They are
Well,
at
I
a
mean, they
loss.
probably know that Ben and Betty are, kids, and they're like, do you want to tell them? Should I tell them? I can't tell them. Can
We're
you
just
tell 'em?"
like, this is an awkward day.
No, it will not be fine.
Next, please. Whoa, hold up.
Wait,
What
what's
do you think
happening?
you're doing?
What's happening?
I'm sorry, is something wrong? You were gonna let this worker walk in without scanning her package. That is against the rules. No, Tony works here. That's just your lunch. We'll see about that.
Okay.
Oh, right. We were lucky this time, but Battle Force rules clearly state that all packages must be
He's
inspected.
being a rules lawyer now.
Cole, you're right, Mr. Steele. I'm really sorry. Sorry isn't gonna cut it. To learn your lesson, you need a punishment. Go
What
and
is he
clean
gonna
the
do?
plaza outside the building right now.
Steel?
Maybe you're being
You-
a little harsh.
You...
Hey,
Steele.
Steele has a point.
Oh,
Rules are rules. It's okay.
Okay, but Steele lacks the authority to do this.
Create Battle Force is a dream come true.
okay.
I promise I won't make the same mistake.
Do Power Rangers have the ability to issue
I'm not
reprimands?
so sure that was necessary. Nonsense. I call it a lesson learned.
Okay.
I call it an overreach of authority.
I don't really know how the power structure works in this organization.
I've got Gold Range's gift already prepared. A virus-infected puppet.
This is ridiculous.
Very nice. As soon as he touches it,
This is great.
controlled by me, the puppet master.
That puppet,
Authoritarianism. Yeah, it is.
just a little bit.
You see, parents.
Wait,
punish.
how many puppets do you have? There's a second puppet there. What are you?
That one's.
What?
That's the guy with the broom.
You made a puppet of guy with broom?
Now that's kind of cute.
That was really fast. Huh.
Now you've made a puppet of guy with broom.
Okay.
Come back, chat.
Oh.
Now be a good delivery boy and get this package to the Gold Ranger.
Yeah, no, that is not Kelson. It sounds a little like Campbell. It sounds like a cross between...
He's certainly doing a pretty good Bugglesworth right now.
Well, it sounds a little...
Excuse me.
Special.
Are you guys
don't-
about to have a Nerf bow and arrow? Because that looks like a Nerf bow and arrow.
It's a very big Nerf bow and arrow. But, and now it's going to absorb into his hand. Oh dear. Evil Nate.
Steel was right. Yeah, Steel
Rangers,
was right.
bow, wow.
Although I gotta
Go,
say,
go, Power Rangers. Boom.
I'm not
Go,
sure scanning the
boom,
hand
boom,
puppet
Go.
would have helped.
Boom. It's morphin' time.
Huh.
For justice we fight, with beast morphin' might. Together we rise. Bow, wow, 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 wow. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. Power Rangers, Race Morphers.
So apparently Abraham says that the puppet prop was actually quite heavy.
The bow and arrow prop.
Oh, the bow and arrow prop.
Yes.
The bow.
Yes.
Not the puppet.
Yes. But yeah, that's interesting that that the security guy Cole, nobody checked him as he was coming back in with a package.
And what I'm saying is that even if they had looked and they'd seen it was a hand puppet of Nate, they probably would have just let it in anyway.
I feel like that might have been suspicious. Especially since...
Okay, this is actually kind of cool.
Oh, little clips and things from child celebrities?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Even though that JoJo Siwa person, despite dressing like a 11-year-old, is in fact 16.
Okay. But,
she has a whole line of giant hair bows at the Target.
Yeah. No, that was my train. That was it. But the whole scanning of packages thing, actually, considering how many regular attempts there are
it makes total sense.
using magic to take control of Grid Battle Force, it actually is a reasonable regulation there. It's just kind of funny that nobody... Oh, now I remember what I was going to say. It appears as though the puppet control thing, although you take control of the person, they don't seem to be have a great level of control over like what they're going to be saying. So like if somebody were to ask him, "Hey, dude, what's the deal with the puppet?" Like I think they might have gotten a little suspicious with, "It is a gift from a fan."
Fair enough. Also, the fans don't know what the Rangers look like.
A fan from me. I am the fan.
Puppetron probably sounded silly. Yeah.
Controltron's actually a pretty good name for it.
It is.
But I love the Power Rangers, and I make puppets in my spare time. Nate
Apparently
is
they
my
have a
favorite.
TV show called Side Hustle.
This is what I bring with me to my work. This is a gift for the
Yeah,
Gold
definitely good on Nick
Ranger.
for their coronavirus coverage. They're doing a lot of encouraging kids to stay in and watch TV, which is in their best interest. It's kind of like when on my cell phone I get an alert from Grubhub that tells me the restaurants need you now more than ever. It's like, yes, the restaurants probably do need me now more than ever, but Grubhub doesn't. Grubhub is probably having a boom.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe I will call the restaurant directly and cut Grubhub out of the equation because I'm mad at them right now.
Ooh, and we are back. There we go. What's going on at the gym? What have you been doing, Steele? Oh no. What have you been doing?
Punishing them.
First, I caught some technicians driving their cart too fast through the base. Whoa, stop! Over the speed limit, aren't we? You can think about
Steele has become...
cleaning the toilets.
These are really random reprimands.
The rules clearly state why that is a serious tripping hazard.
Okay.
Fix them.
Okay. Well, no, that was...
Clears her with a cotton swab? Don't be ridiculous. I told her to use a sponge.
You...
Well, I never. Is that
What are you
gum in your
doing,
mouth?
dude?
Yeah.
I mean,
Against the
he's
rules to
not...
chew gum in
He's
the
not wrong, but he's...
Spit it out.
Okay,
he's taking it to an extreme.
okay. He doesn't even work here!
I mean, no,
Stop. Still.
he doesn't understand how punishments work.
He doesn't understand the authority structure necessary.
Yeah. They're also not explaining anything to him about what the issues are. They're just like, it's too much. And he's like, I don't understand. And then they're not explaining.
Well, they were about to just now, and then they got
Fair
a call from the commander. You see, punishments come from people who have authority over you, like your parents or your boss.
There are also usually, like, specific penalties associated with specific oversights. Like,
Well, I mean, they did have the whole thing when he said he had to pull weeds from the lawn for
Yeah.
talking back, which there's not really a relation there.
wow, you... Okay. You really did not, did not, like, try to hide that you had taken control of the Gold Ranger for any period of time.
Yeah, he really could have used that a lot more strategically. I mean, not to say that people who are in authority can't also go overboard on punishments and make totally stupid mistakes.
Well,
but
there is a discipline structure. There are crimes and consequences. You have specific consequences for specific specific offenses.
Yes, specific offenses, specific things. But a slightly bigger problem we have here is that you can't just go around imposing punishments on everyone you interact with.
Okay, that. I think Nate had a little too much fun yelling for the Tronics.
A little bit, yeah.
That was great. Tronics!
Like, he tried to punish a restaurant worker.
Yeah.
He doesn't even work there.
That's true. Now, he could file a complaint.
He could file a complaint with the restaurant worker's boss. Then the restaurant worker's boss could decide whether or not a punishment is actually necessary, or whether he just, lost his gum. That is, in and of itself, a consequence.
Yeah.
It might not have been stale yet. You lost your gum.
Yeah.
It was a little bit like a cheerleading chant.
Tronics!
Ready? Okay! I have no idea how to cheerlead. Nate being controlled is better than Jin's crying secret.
Okay.
Okay, maybe he's gonna take him back to the base and make him build something?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, very much. Well, why don't we try punishing it? Oh wait.
Okay, so apparently he does have...
Imagine Nate having pom-poms and screaming "Go Tronics."
This is an interesting means of mind control. Because it seems as though it's mostly you just need to suggest what it is you want him to do, rather than true puppeteering. Because otherwise,
it's more directives or compulsions.
Yeah.
You are compelled to finish this program. You are compelled to deliver that puppet.
Yeah, it's not.
It doesn't require ongoing, active.
Because if it was just straight one-to-one motor control, that would be useless in this scenario.
Nate's knowledge would be irrelevant.
What are you doing?
Probably getting him in trouble for bringing the puppet in. Oh.
What's going on? Commander, we have security footage of Cole taking an unscanned package into the building. It's the second time today. Only this time, the package came from E-Box. It's true. Watch.
I mean, yeah, that is a problem.
In his hands. See that? Cole walked through security with...
Okay, but if you hadn't sent him outside, he wouldn't have gotten in that situation.
I mean, there's the question then of why didn't they could have just made a Ben or Betty puppet.
I see. How do you explain this? I'm sorry. I don't remember. My mind's gone blank. It's like a fog. Weak excuse. Cole is danger. You're relieved of your duties.
This This is awkward.
I failed you
Because,
and the agency. And I'm so sorry. Please see yourself out.
okay, here's the thing. Steele's not wrong. He's being very aggressive about it, but he's also not entirely wrong. He's just being way too aggressive about it and overstepping his bounds. But I feel like that's not the lesson that we're learning here.
He's like, this is why I say he's outside of his bounds is the biggest problem.
Yeah. Like, this is actually a perfectly reasonable consequence for...
failing that hard at being security.
Yeah.
Especially since they still don't know he was puppified.
As far as they can tell, he was a mole. He was somebody who did something for the bad guys that got one of the good guys in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
what's he got? Oh, he's got his
It's
sword.
time
Okay.
to use that Red Ranger versus
Why-
Gold Ranger footage.
Why are you running at Devin with a sword while unmorphed? Okay, commercial time. That is a little weird. Okay.
I feel like one of the things they definitely forgot to impress upon him when they were explaining punishment, even though they did mention parents in both cases, is that not everyone can just punish everyone.
There's a certain social contract when it comes to punishment that it is... Punishment is the duty of someone who has some sort of agreed-upon level of authority.
No, well, it may not be agreed upon. Because,
Well,
especially since our audience are underage, your parents and your teachers, you don't have to agree that they have authority over you.
Agreed upon by the structures of an organization or society.
Okay, by society, yes.
Yes, not necessarily between the two parties.
I mean, like, when you get a job, you kind of are making an agreement to put yourself under the...
Yes.
under the purview of your boss.
Yes.
It's like, you pay me, and I do what you tell me to. That's basically how jobs work.
Yes. Now, I would say that they acted, I think, probably a little too aggressively. They should have checked to see... I imagine there should have been security footage of
on the outside, from
the
plaza.
outside, where you would have seen him get controlled by a puppet himself.
Especially after he said that everything was a fog.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh yeah, well, we did just see that someone can be turned into a puppet!
But Steele, you should be deferring to the commander. It's her responsibility.
And I feel like the commander missed a chance there.
Yeah.
Because although the guy probably should be fired since they don't know about the puppet thing,
Right.
she missed a chance to be all like, Steele, firing people is my job, not yours.
Yeah.
Like, you can't fire your coworkers.
Yeah.
And you can't discipline restaurant workers. Or fire them either.
Yeah.
Unless you're the boss of the restaurant. Most of us are not.
Right.
I mean, I very much would have liked to fire the Grubhub driver out the other day. I am so mad at that.
I'm curious. I'm unclear on what lesson this episode is trying to convey at this time. Because Steele is being very clearly shown as being in the wrong context. In terms of the
is it? No, I feel
implications.
like it's been used since then. Is this really the first time we've seen the lobby since the first episode? I don't think that's right.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if there's been any other reason that we would have been in the lobby since then. I'm trying to think if there's been any other reason that we've had to actually have a scene in the lobby in all these previous episodes, with the exception of the first episode.
I feel like the mayor has entered or exited by it on some occasions.
He's only been in Dread Battle Force in the first episode, and then in the season finale. And in the season finale, he showed up in the room where they were working with the Cybergate. So,
oh yeah, we're definitely not getting the Messiah card arc at this point. They did just blow another Messiah card monster.
Yeah, at this point, this is our, I think our third, actually.
Oh. I don't know. Maybe they just
Oh, Cole's gonna save Devin? Okay. Nate's pretty strong.
Yeah, so apparently when he's, not busy in the lab,
He's pretty tough. Sit in the gym.
he's in the gym. It's not uncommon.
What? Wait, Zorts? Did the Gigadrone just drop?
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I felt like there was not. Wait, that's the Gigadrone from Digitron.
Who we didn't see in the Digitron episode.
Interesting.
Yeah, he probably was trying to assassinate him.
Huh.
That is pretty dark.
Yep. Pretty messed up. So I guess Steel can make use of Nate's Zord while Nate's busy. That's interesting.
Apparently so. Wyatt?
No, he's not. I don't even know why you feel like. I don't know why you even feel like disputing that. Like, you've made it very obvious that you're under control. That's just kind of a weird thing to say.
So this isn't quite puppet. It definitely is compulsions. They're
Yeah.
planted compulsions, but the compulsions don't come with the understanding that they are compulsions. They feel like they're coming from within. So he's like, no one tells me what to do. I wanted to assassinate you.
There we go. Puppet control drone. He's got control over the Gorilla Zord there. The Wheeler Zord.
Yeah, they just stab him in the back.
Yep.
Serious case of backstabbing.
Yep. Boom. That's not good.
This is the third Ranger versus Ranger scene in Beast Morphers so far.
Yeah. I mean, we did have those whatchamacallit. There we go. Yeah, we had the Clone Rangers a couple episodes back.
Yep.
Trying to think.
And wasn't Steel under their control at some point?
A clone, copy of Steel, Copytron. But that one didn't morph to my recollection.
Okay, fair enough. Ravi versus Zoe.
Ravi
versus Devin.
Oh, okay. Because Devin had Fury mode, and then Ravi during one of those early episodes went berserk on Zoe. I was forgetting about Seeing Red. Nice.
Right now, at least according to the closed caption, which had Alexa RN stuck there. I just wanted to put on a show. Well, you'd be in great company with Waizo-sama.
Yes. Oh. That was a really awkward flip kick thing. Where's Zoe at?
Probably.
Oh, there she is. There we go.
We saw her launch before.
Yeah, I'm like, why has she not been doing anything? Should have been shooting at them this whole time. There we go.
Hey, look who's showing up late to the fight.
Nice.
What exactly does it mean to come in hot in this context?
He's using his little rocket boosters. I'm gonna go with that.
Now we're when we're done
But
with
yeah,
this.
apparently I had just completely forgotten that these Gigadrones were that they fought them in unison in the source material. So that very much explains why we didn't have the Digidrone last week.
Yes. Steel is right and wrong at the same time, which will totally mess with his head. Now he's a computer. He can take parameters.
Yeah, let's see how they resolve this.
I'm sorry for giving you guys such a hard time. Thanks for not giving up on me. Nate, none of us would ever give up on you.
And we shouldn't have given up on our friend, the security ranger, either.
I was under that Robotron's control.
Okay,
I was completely blank.
so now they understand that's what happened to Cole.
My mind's gone blank. It's like a fog. Foggy? Oh no! That's why Cole couldn't remember anything.
Of course. He must have been mind controlled to bring the puppet to Nate.
Yep.
It wasn't his fault at all. Commander, I made a terrible mistake.
Yes.
And how would you like to make things right?
There's only one thing to do.
Is it clean your Zord with a Q-tip?
You can't turn wood chips back into a tree, but you can grow a new tree.
Okay.
Let's give this itty bitty seed a bit of
No, what's gonna happen now?
good fertilizer, hyper-concentrate.
What's gonna happen
One
now?
drop, sis.
It's gonna use more than one drop. Oh, is it just one drop? Huh.
Fantastic.
That is insane. I don't
Security
understand
ranger.
why
Okay,
this-
yeah, I did say security ranger. Oh no.
Oh, and here comes the whole tree.
What's up, guys?
Cole should be here any minute. I've told
Okay.
him it's important.
Thanks.
So
So do you also need a punishment now, Steel?
he's got a little bike that he
Commander, you
rides
wanted
around
to
on,
see me?
apparently.
Actually, I did. I was wrong to be so hard on you. Taking that evil package to Nate wasn't your fault. You were being puppeteered by a Robotron. I was? Yup.
Well, that
And the thing with
that
the
makes
lunchbox?
sense.
Well, I may have overreacted a bit. Everybody makes mistakes. They don't
Okay.
all deserve punishments.
This is true.
We'd like you to come back and work with us at Grid Battle.
It is true. Not all mistakes deserve punishments.
Well, of course. Thank you so much. And I promise I'll remember to scan every single package from now on, even my own lunchbox.
Okay.
Thank you. What a wild day. It really couldn't get any crazier.
Here comes the giant tree.
Ben and Betty are up the tree now.
Yes.
I take it back. That's bananas.
That is bananas.
It's a brand new tree!
That is heavily bananas.
Could you guys give us a hand?
The banana quotient is very high here. Okay. So there we go.
Awkward dialogue in the red versus gold fight, says
Yeah,
Games,
that-
and
yeah,
I have to agree.
Yeah. There was a lot of awkward to this episode.
Oi, Jumpman! Oi!
I
Ben and Betty have not been punished for their shenanigans.
Yeah, I know.
They will never be punished for their shenanigans because their dad is the big boss.
Yeah, because nepotism. But yeah, this was a little bit of an odd episode because they went heavy on the moral, but they went heavy on a nuanced topic without addressing the nuance, and it was very odd. This was a very odd moral focused episode.
Also, Steel should have had a punishment.
I do like that that we are continuing Evox's mystery plan. Because we don't know what Nate did.
No, we don't. We don't know what he apparently completed the program before they sent
Yeah.
it back out. So whatever programming needed to be done, it's been done, and that's not good news.
Yeah, so there is some progression on the running story this week. That being said, conceptually there was some interesting stuff in this episode, but it was all very awkwardly handled. Yeah, it's I like that they are moving towards something and they're hiding the ball on what that is, but yeah, this was kind of a miss. I feel
At
like
least it's not called Super Beast Morphers.
that's true. Um,
Thank you, Tim.
we're definitely getting into some of that season 2 slump that we've encountered with some past seasons.
Olivia says she, as much as she does not want to know what Steel learns next, she is curious.
Yeah.
I kind of am too, but I totally get what you said at the beginning now about Steel learning disturbing human concepts. Because
I'm not even entirely sure what he learned this week.
First he learned punishment, and then he learned that he doesn't need to punish people all the time.
Yes.
Which is good, because you shouldn't just go around punishing people. It's not every mistake needs a punishment. Sometimes it just needs a reminder that you've made a mistake. But you know, I mean, there's a huge difference between forget. I don't know why, but I feel like there's a huge difference.
I'm just gonna go on a limb
an oversight and littering.
I'm just gonna go on a limb for a quick moment, and once again reinforcing that we are targeted towards 13 and up. I feel like this episode is going to spawn a lot of uncomfortable fan fiction. I'm just putting that out there right now.
When you go back to rewatch this, sweetheart, you're gonna have to watch my eyebrows, because I was 10 feet ahead of you on that one.
No, I know. I think it's a thing. That's a thing. That's gonna be.
Say hello to our good boy.
Hey, little Ollie.
Ollie ran to the dentist.
Yeah, there is definitely there's a section of the fan base who I'm sure are going to be
get a visit from the Tooth Fairy and forget it.
Writing a lot of things that will
involve Steel and punishments.
Yes. That's not.
Steel needs
that's not something I will likely be reading, but I'm sure that other people will be enjoying it. Good for them.
I'm not really into robots.
But yeah, this is there. I feel like this one. Here's
they
one.
Try to sell PR as a show with morals, but really they have the worst morals. Yeah, this was a clear case of broken Aesop.
It felt like they weren't really. They kind of knew the lesson they wanted to convey, but they didn't know how to verbalize it, really. And because of that, it didn't come across clearly in the episode.
Loving parents, not all parents, but loving parents, discipline out of care.
Yes.
Some of them, not great. They discipline out of power trips. But the ones that care, when they discipline, they're doing it because they care about their kids and they want them to learn important life lessons. That is a true thing that was said at the beginning. They just took it in a really weird direction.
They really did, and they didn't really manage it in a way that felt clear. And you want there to be clarity when you're conveying morals. Like, you don't want to be, over the top in terms of making it. Yeah. You don't want to be over the top in terms of making it seem like you are lecturing, because children are going to tune out on that. But you do want to be clear so that they understand what it is they're supposed to be learning.
Because here's the thing. You could learn the wrong lesson here and have a bunch of kids going around trying to punish their own younger siblings.
Right.
They're not old enough and wise enough. A child, let's say a 9-year-old, tries to discipline their 3-year-old brother. That 9-year-old really isn't in a position to do so.
Let's look at it this way. There were a number of different ways that they could have spun off from that opening scene in terms of how punishment operates and how discipline operates. And it could have, and in terms of what kids could have been learning from that, it could have been along the lines of, oh, this is why you receive a punishment when you've done something wrong, or this is why you may receive a punishment when you've done something wrong, but you are not in a position to punish others, which are useful things for children to understand, because they don't always understand why they are experiencing certain consequences. Or you could have spun it in even past that to punishment can be appropriate for certain actions, but there is something as too far, and what to do when you experience that. For
Yeah.
instance, as you said, some parents may be engaging in a level of discipline that could be abusive,
Illegally abusive.
and that would be something important for children to be able to recognize.
Let's take this PSA. If they make you bleed, it's probably too much.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different, very helpful ways that they could have, gone.
And yes, it is very much about negative reinforcements. The way it was presented, it was about using punishments as an aversive,
Right,
which isn't even the best way to do discipline.
right. Usually, like there's been actually quite a bit of research, I believe, going into restorative justice as being more
Yes.
productive. Where
Punitive or
punitive
aversive.
is often not tremendously useful compared to restorative, which would be restorative being when you take an action to make right what you did wrong.
as opposed to, and that was a great example at the very beginning when he had her pick up a litter and pick up some more litter too.
Right.
That was restorative.
Yes. It's like you did something wrong, you need to make it right, and we want to reinforce what the right thing is.
But you messed up with the package, now you need to sweep the plaza. There's no connection. It's just an aversive. And in this case, it's not just an aversive of work, but also, in some degree, an aversive of humiliation.
Yeah, like, he was clearly, like, humiliating these people.
Especially since he seemed to want all of them to clean for him.
Yeah, because he didn't understand that punishment doesn't just need to be clean something.
I understand that, the example he saw was pick up litter.
And that's really, that was really awkward and uncomfortable, and honestly, it didn't tie tremendously well into the whole Nate
The
getting
only
mind
reason that I
controlled
could see,
plot
like,
either.
you would use cleaning as a restorative punishment if, say, someone made a mess, they littered, or if someone was disrespecting the janitor.
Right.
You should try doing the janitor's job.
Yes.
Because you should respect the janitor, because cleaning is important. But it would have to be related. You don't just be all like...
If any of you are familiar with Stephen Miller, he probably should be employed as a janitor for some time. Maybe he could understand things a little bit better. Sorry, that was a segue.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was thinking... If you know who Stephen Miller is, you probably have heard his absurd stance on janitors from when he was in high school.
Oh, is this somebody who has no respect for janitors?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, yes. You should have respect for... Okay, actually...
You might... I don't know if
so
you
I
recall
work at a
that clip
hospital,
or not.
and at the hospital, there are a few groups of people you don't mess with.
Yes.
Okay? Obviously, you don't want to mess with the doctors and the nurses because they're trying to do their work, but the doctors and the nurses often kind of have sort of a higher level, like, position in the organization because they're doing the clinical work and might pick on people of lower professions.
Right.
But even they are not going to mess with the janitor. You don't mess with the janitor. You ever watch Scrubs? The almighty janitor is a real thing in hospitals.
But yeah, like, what could have been something useful if you wanted to teach...
Pick up your litter.
Like...
Thank you, Devious.
And beyond all that, the way that Steele learned his lesson wasn't that his actions were necessarily wrong, but only that his actions were wrong as a result of a misunderstanding.
Due to the puppet situation.
Yeah, it's like...
Also, by the way, you know who else you don't mess with?
Yeah.
Security!
Like, he wasn't... Like, Steele wasn't portrayed as wrong for his original actions, per se. It was portrayed as wrong because he discovered that he had punished somebody who was not actually responsible for their actions. But that, within that context, that wouldn't have made his punishment wrong if the person had been responsible for their actions. Where, all the other situations, the people were responsible for their own actions. So he really only apologized to this one guy.
Yeah.
But that ended up being translated to his whole lesson.
You probably didn't need to apologize to the restaurant workers solely because Devin stepped in before he managed to make it any worse.
Fair. But like,
but to all the other people at Grid Battle Force that he for some reason decided to
like, why do you make the person whose shoes were
untied
untied
wash your whole Zord
with a sponge? Like, why? Like,
her shoes were untied, dude.
There's no. That's
see,
not.
When you see someone's shoes untied, you're just like, hey, your shoes are untied. And they go, oh, thank you. I could have fallen on my face.
Yeah, the danger
That's
was
the end
to
of it.
that person. The
That
consequence should not be for that person
the
to be.
end of a shoes untied. Oh, well, thank you, Devious. Thank you, Devious, for thanking us for our professions.
Yeah.
I'm just the IT guy at the hospital, and honestly, I mean, that's probably another department you don't want to mess with, because then maybe you won't get your password reset, but we're always going to do it anyway, because it's a hospital, so we're just like, you have to. We have to. We can't not do it.
So, with relation to Dustin's comment here on why he was uncertain they would end up using the hand puppet monster because it had been taken from a preschool hand puppet in the original context. I'm not terribly surprised that they used this monster, primarily because, let's face it, Ranger versus Ranger or Zord versus Zord footage is
always a big hit.
It is. Like, and he wasn't a monster who visually really looked all that childish aesthetically. What's up?
I don't know, someone said something in the chat about a wardrobe malfunction. My clothes seem to be fine. How are yours?
I don't know. Oh, shoelace.
Oh, the shoelace! Okay.
And as far as why would they listen to him anyway with regards to Steel, again,
I think
the
it's
power
structure.
The power structure within Grid Battle Force is not really well conveyed. Like, presumably, going off this episode, the Power Rangers have command authority.
There is I'd say a 15 to 20 second delay. So yes, someone said, "Oh, you've already answered it." That's okay. You probably asked again because we hadn't yet answered it at the time that you typed that, or we had answered it but it hadn't gotten to you due to the approximately 20-second delay.
Yeah, whichever it
going
is.
Out. That happens.
But yeah, there were. This seems to be a little bit of a recurring problem. For these
Power Rangers in general has a problem with broken Aesops.
But
now and then they just have a real clunker.
But I've been noticing both with Dino Charge, Ninja Steel, and now with Beast Morphers, they do seem to kick off their second season with heavy moral episodes that are confused in their morals. And I'm not quite sure why that is, but that is becoming a trend now. This is sort of a 3 for 3. And I feel like part of it is the first season, in all three of these cases, has been pretty well structured. But I feel like they don't have that second season as well planned out, and then they are rushing it by the time they get to it.
And, if you're going to pull an Aesop out of your rear at the last minute, the heavy moralistic ones are pretty easy to plug into a situation.
That being said, that's just conjecture on my part. But I know, at the very least, speaking for me, I know as a teacher, I plan out my curriculum for the year. I've got a lot of things to tackle for the year, and I kind of lay it all out. And at the beginning of the year, you have a whole bunch of stuff planned out, and then the farther out you go, the less you have fully planned out, because you run out of time before the school year starts. I'll be like spending the summer, I'm like, okay, this is my outline for the year. Okay, now I gotta start planning week to week. Okay, well now I'm getting close to the year starting. Okay, I gotta start planning the day to day. And then school year starts before you've really planned out everything in the same level of detail.
Every time there's a break.
Like you've planned out the first couple weeks in detail, the next few weeks in a little less detail, the overall school year in week detail.
And then there's always the possibility your whole schedule's going to get thrown off by Susan.
Exactly. And then the same sort of thing, I believe, happens when you're planning out a TV show. You structure out the whole story that you have in mind, loosely. And then you start going to mechanically, okay, how are we structuring this? Where are we hitting each of these plot points? Okay, what's going to be our first season hit? Okay, how are we structuring all that? And then, it's time to start filming. Okay, we'll keep working on the second season, but we really got to focus on filming the first season right now. And then the second season doesn't get as well developed as a result. and then you're in it, and you're having to be a little bit more improvisational, which I know I experienced plenty of as a teacher. Some days I'll walk in there and I'm just like, I'm gonna teach them this today. I think.
I feel like you're one of the more improvisational teachers out there solely because your mathematical capacity allows you to actually come up with example problems on the fly, which I'm pretty sure most people can't do.
This is accurate. This is accurate.
Because most people, if they try and came up with complex mathematic example problems on the
Yes.
fly, they would screw up the equation and the students would be confused.
Yes. Yeah, I will walk in and just have a vague idea of, like, I won't even, there are sometimes days when I'm not prepared, and I will walk in, and I'm like, okay, we are going to learn about, and I just think about what the last thing we talked about was, we're going to learn about this next thing, and because there's always a sequence, so I'll just start putting example problems on the board, coming up with, okay, I'll start to write it out, and I'll, like, do it in my head a little bit, and be like, okay, yeah, the math will line up on that one. Okay, yeah, the math will line up on that one. Okay, yeah, the math will line up on that one. Do these three.
Have a heavily hoity-toity, self-satisfied voice, yes.
What was that?
Steal!
Oh, okay. I'm like, I didn't realize I was so hoity-toity.
I'm pretty sure they mean steal.
Okay.
In Sentai, he had a voice more similar to a child. Yeah,
Oh,
they
fair enough.
definitely mean steal and not...
Okay.
Oh, no, not steal. They mean the monster.
Oh, the monster. Yes. Okay, yes, that makes sense.
The monster.
Okay. Yeah, he had a very sort of high toned, like,
Yeah,
in the Sentai, and then
yeah.
he had more of a theatrical flair in this one.
I think he would have been in good company.
He had a little bit of a touch. We didn't double check the voice.
Do you ever do Power Ranger word problems? The students don't know about this channel.
No, I haven't been doing. Well, have I? I have. At my previous job, I did do a few.
But that
of
was a
those.
place where students had found your channel already.
Yes. Like I did. I actually did a Wild Force centric problem on momentum or test on momentum, where like I used the animal crystals with the lunar Q for being linear momentum, and like the armadillo Zord for being angular momentum, and the Zord assembly for being center of mass. It was good times.
I'm in pain. That's a very concept. I really am.
That worked quite well.
You'll have to report back to us, Joseph. He's watching Danger Force to see how bad it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never been into most of the live action the in-house Nickelodeon live action shows.
Why do you think I married him?
Yes.
I love my door.
I love you too. All right, so yeah, that now I got it all into a teaching tangent there. Ironically, just earlier today, I was teaching someone tangent stuff.
Really? Are you sure it wasn't cosines?
No, that too. It was all the trig functions. We were doing trig identities these last couple of weeks. Tangent sine over cosine. If you have a word problem, bring it to the chat. I'll see if I can help you out. All right.
How long until Megabo done from Nate?
Yeah, that was actually a nice little. You see, that's one of the things that I think has been working really well in Beast Morphers is that they
show things before they get them.
Yeah, they have a tendency to seed all of these little things. It's not always handled with what I think would be the appropriate care. Because it's like, okay, Steel got seeded in there with his head earlier on. That was really cute. The Cheetah Claws got seeded in there plenty. The Zord detection, the Gigadrone detection system got seeded in there plenty. And now we're seeding in this new bow and arrow thing. But like things that you would expect to be major weapons, or major arsenal upgrades, are not getting that same sort of seating like Zords. Zords are just like, oh, here's a Zord. I know we didn't mention them before, but new episode, new
I
Zord.
guess it's a little harder to put the Megazord in the lab.
Well, regardless, it still feels like, you could still have plans for the Megazord. You could still be
Oliver!
developing it.
His name is Oliver.
Or perfect example, Beast-X mode. They really came up with on the
On the
fly
fly?
in the last
Hey,
episode.
what if I could wear my friend?
And that's a major upgrade with no lead-in. So that's all just kind of a little odd.
I know they don't make original Megazord footage, but they could have had schematics on a computer screen in the background
exactly.
at some point.
And I mean, we have been seeing original shots of the Zords in the Zord Bay.
So,
we keep seeing CG shots of the Zords in the Zord Bay.
So Henry Danger, as Kid Danger, faked his death so he could go to college.
Oh, that's cute.
Good for him.
Yeah,
go to college.
Clever. I like that. I mean, I kind of wish more Rangers would go to college.
I kind of wish more Rangers would finish high school.
I mean, we assume that they've finished high school. We just never see them further their educations past that.
Oh, but a lot of the times they're in high school at the beginning of
very
the
rarely.
series, and then they're not in high school anymore.
That
and
doesn't
no
actually...
graduation seems to have happened. Or maybe I'm just still hung up on Mystic Force.
Oh, Mystic Force. Mystic Force made no real... Well, did they... I thought they were graduated from high school in Mystic Force.
I don't know.
They never made it clear that they were still in high school. They knew each other from high school. Or
there was, in Samurai, who was definitely in high school, and then disappeared. His friends asked him where he had gone to.
Yeah, that was a weird one. Yeah, every now and again you get stuff like that.
I'm a big fan of adult Power Rangers. I mean, technically, I think these ones are adult Power Rangers.
It's mostly
that like Time Force or RPM, but also this Beast Morphers is a great example. These people this is their career. It's
mostly just that I'm a little. It always feels weird to me that we don't see Power Rangers in college, because it is yes, it is nice to be able to show Rangers who choose alternatives to college, or professionals, or high schoolers. But it's like there's this zone that just they keep skirting around. It always feels strange to me. Because everybody knows that
college students don't have time to be Power Rangers.
I mean, Alyssa did. She's like the only Power Ranger who's been a college student.
Shelby.
That's weird. And Shelby too. Shelby.
Lightspeed and SPD also adults.
Although they played her more as a part-time college student.
She was definitely a part-timer. Because she was also working at the museum.
Yeah, but just that they don't really ever explore college life, and I always found that a little odd.
As much as I did not like it, Operation Overdrive was also adult career Power Rangers.
Yeah. But again, that's something of a
the
segue.
Dino Thunder Prom from the one-year reunion history.
Yeah, but that was after they had. That was after they had already stopped being Rangers.
I said Overdrive, but I probably didn't come through to you before you typed that because of the 20-second delay.
Yeah, there are plenty of Rangers who
and
have
a robot.
Career professionals.
That's true.
Honestly,
Mac is a robot.
Most Power Rangers who are not high school students tend to be some form of career professionals, or else are outside context kinds of individuals.
Some of them are impossible career professionals, like full-on doctors who are not old enough to have graduated medical school.
Yeah, that happens. So yeah, just to sort of, I know it's getting late. We should be tying things up. I'd love to continue talking to you guys again in that Power Ranger Discord.
Yeah, Jake's a big fan of Power Ranger Discord.
A lot of times I don't see you guys in there too often.
Maybe they don't like the Power Ranger Discord. I don't know.
I mean, I will admit I don't spend a tremendous amount of time there, but I do try to check in weekly.
Weekly after these shows.
So feel free to, if you want to continue chatting about this, we can talk about it there. But yeah, to wrap things up, this episode teased some good stuff for the future, but I felt like their central focus with the moral was uncomfortable and mishandled. And that it didn't tie in well enough to the otherwise potentially interesting plot of Nate being under mind control. Like that when you have a focus on Steel.
Yeah.
Like your brother's been mind controlled and abducted. That should be your pathos.
It really should be. But
Instead,
he
it
was
was
just giving out punishments. He was very
Yeah.
gleefully giving out punishments. Question: Has the pandemic delayed the production of Power Reviews? Kind of, sort of, yes and no. It's helping post production, but it's certainly not helping filming.
Well, really, here's the thing. Since
Bye, Cody.
I have more time here in the house, but I have been adjusting to the new work structure of working from home. I have been prioritizing other things for my mental health.
And also, there's no way we're filming with any of our actors.
Like I've been
social distancing.
Right, but I do have enough film that I should be able to finish some things.
89 at least.
89 at least, and probably 90 as well. Because there is one actor that I need to film with.
I don't think we really care what time slot Power Rangers is in because we're watching it on DVR.
Actually, I think the only person who I have left who I really need to focus on filming for 89 and 90 is me. I just got to film some pickup shots there.
Well, that you can do in the house.
But the bigger challenge is more so I've been trying to get things into a condition where around the apartment where I can.
This apartment is so much cleaner than it was.
It's because I need to. I want it to be a good working environment because I'm going to be spending, 50 hours at a stretch in here without leaving. I leave every couple days for groceries and things like that, but that's about it. And so I wanted to make sure that this was something where I wasn't going to go completely stir crazy, which I guess is arguable, and if I already have. And then I've also been engaging in the volunteer work as well.
Over the phone, yeah.
To both those things have been sort of level of self-care in an unreasonable situation that we are currently in.
This is a very weird situation.
I'm trying to still also find time for editing, but I am doing a lot of grading right now. A lot of my work has not gone away, and my hours have become much wackier as a result.
So if it moved to 7:30 at night, it would be 30 minutes later than we normally start. Well, then I guess we'd have to do the show on Sunday.
What are we referring to?
He was talking about the possibility of Power Rangers moving to the 7:30 p.m. time slot.
Really? That's something that they're considering?
No, I think it was just a hypothetical.
Well, yeah, if it would move to the 7:30 time slot, we would just watch it live.
Or that. The 7:30 time slot, we just watch it live.
Yeah, instead of trying to get our recording
then we'd
working.
be watching it live with all of you.
Yeah.
And it would be the first time any of us saw it, and that would be kind of cool.
Yep. We've only done that once with Dimensions in Danger, I believe, was the only one that we've done that with. All right, so...
Oh boy, Chris is going a little stir crazy.
Yeah. So that's why I've been doing the things like volunteering and getting the apartment in order, so that I'm in a good physical space and a good mental space.
It certainly helps me when I come home from the hospital and find things cleaner than when I left.
And now I do need to buckle down and get more editing work done. I've been getting little bits of work done. It's getting into a good condition. I'm getting a lot of editing practice with making quick videos for the students.
Yes. And
not nearly as much editing for myself. So I need to shift that balance a little bit.
Right. So.
All right. But we've gone on long enough. We've shared our thoughts, I think, pretty thoroughly.
We've been on for over an hour.
And I look forward to seeing all of you again next week. We'll keep up with our distance socialing.
Yes.
So, yeah, hopefully we are providing you with some of the social experiences that you have been sorely missing.
According to Jumpman. Yeah, this stuff's going stir crazy.
So, until next time, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you. All right.
Stay safe. Stay inside. Don't go anywhere.
So, respect my authority. Nah,
respect my authority!
Alright, there it is. I forgot that I moved this over a little bit.
Steel needs a punch.
All right. Have a great night, guys.
See ya.
See you. See you next week. Ending the stream now. Bye.